That was the appetizer.
Was.
The meat and the potatoes is the Iowa State-Kansas State game. And JD, we have a lot to talk about in this one. Why can Iowa State win this game? Well, their junior quarterback, Rocco Becht, is back under center for the Cyclones. Last year, he completed 60% of his passes for 3,500 yards and 25 touchdowns to only 9 interceptions. He was fantastic. He finished the year with a 138.1 QBR. If you know what that means, you know how good of a QBR that is. On the other side, for Kansas State, they're also returning their junior quarterback, Avery Johnson. You guys might remember Avery Johnson, the long hair, blonde quarterback who's very mobile and can create some big-time plays. Last year, 25 touchdowns to only 10 picks for Johnson. He also ran the ball 113 times for 605 yards for a 5.5 yards per carry average and 7 rushing touchdowns. Unfortunately, he was also the MVP of the Rate Bowl, where my Rutgers Scarlet Knights lost to Kansas State 44-41. Also returning for this Kansas State team is their junior running back, Dylan Edwards. Dylan Edwards enters the season on the Maxwell Award list watch. He is projected to be one of the best running backs in the nation this year. He's an absolute dog. In the bowl game last year against Rutgers, he rushed for 200 yards, 2 touchdowns on only 18 carries. The guy can absolutely play. So, JD, both teams are returning some big-name guys on the offensive side. This is by far the best game of this week. What do you like in this one? Are you targeting a side, targeting a total? What do you got?
Yeah, man, for this one here, the good thing about this one is we know a lot more about these teams. There's a lot of guys that have actually came like back.
And we know who they are, and we know who they are.
Like, there are actually more stats here that we can go off of.
Absolutely.
Iowa State has actually won this matchup 4 out of the past 5 times.
Yep.
The one game that Kansas State won, they won that game 10-9.
Yep.
Just a random little fact there.
That is a random little fact.
With saying that, though, everything here points me to Kansas State. To start with, this is a big thing that we talked about last year, is they have the actual advantage on the offensive line and the defensive line. When actually, like, you are looking at a national football game, that's something that I want to see. If you have the edge on actually both of those, you kind of control kind of everything.
Yep.
So that's something just like right off the bat that like I absolutely love. The Kansas State run game, that's kind of like you've already kind of said it, but that's kind of what they're known for.
Yep.
They are very good at actually it. And guess what? This Iowa State run defense is not good. It is their
weakness.
It is their biggest weakness.
Hundo P.
So I think it's gonna be a rough day for them there. And the biggest thing there, I think that run game is gonna help out their quarterback Avery Johnson. We saw a lot of him last year. Everybody knows to start the year I was a big K-State guy. I
remember that now. Wow, you were such a big K-State guy last year.
Huge K-State guy.
I got that.
And actually, like Avery Johnson, he is so good. But last year, what turned out happening is he turned the ball over a lot.
Yeah,
and that's what ended up doing them in as the season went on. But in a game like this, the run game should be going so well. It should open up easy passes for him. And then actually, like you also said, he can also run.
He's a dual threat.
Yeah.
Dual threat.
So I am expecting to see a big game out of him right actually here to start the season. Now, as far as like Iowa State, what they're can usually do is they can run the like ball.
Yep.
Well, guess what? Kansas State's run defense is pretty damn good.
Yep.
So they don't have a great matchup there. As far as the Kansas State, as far as the actual linebackers group, absolutely love them. The safeties, I also love them, and the safeties have actually been there for actually years now, so I absolutely love that.
Yep.
I just like I said to start this off, I just think for me everything points to Kansas State. It kind of scares me because last year, like I said, you just remembered I was so high on actually them to start the year, and it kind of scares me a little bit that I'm right back to that now.
Yeah.
But for me, this looks like at least a touchdown game. Like being able to get this at actually like -3, it seems like a steal here. The only thing that scares me a little bit as far as the travel here. This game is what? It's played in Ireland, right?
Yep.
So, that's the only thing that because you don't know, because some teams and some people travel well like that, and some teams don't.
Yeah, we need to hear you pronounce the stadium here.
I have no idea where it's at.
The Aer Lingus, AER Lingus College Football Classic.
Aer Lingus. Okay.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
So yeah, guys, to me, like I said, I think this should be at least a national touchdown game here. So give me Kansas State -3 all day long here.
Yeah, everything you said, I agree with JD. It's a little scary that we're both on the same first two plays for the first two games. We did not talk about this beforehand. We both come in, do our own plays. And when we get on here, we like to hear what each other say without knowing in advance. So it's natural. Yep. Our reactions are natural. I am on Kansas State as well with the points. I think they're going to have a big performance. And everything you said is the reason I'm backing them. The run game on the offensive side for Kansas State is going to be the difference. Not only can they run the ball in traditional running style, but when the quarterback gets out of the pocket and has these linemen that are great at blocking, the receivers that are great at blocking, the whole team has committed to blocking, it's going to open up more lanes for Avery Johnson. And I think Avery Johnson is going to have an absolutely massive performance here. Maybe 2 passing touchdowns to go with 2 rushing touchdowns. And I think the Kansas State defense will do enough to force at least 1 turnover to 2 turnovers off Rocco Becht. When you put pressure on Rocco, he could get in a little trouble. He's a talented quarterback. There's no doubt about it. But when you put a little pressure on him, you can definitely see him turning the ball over. So I do think we will see Kansas State have a big performance here. I don't think they'll be able to get stopped on the offensive side in the running attack. So give me Kansas State. I think they win by at least a touchdown as well. J-Bo, I do think there will be points here, but it is still a game that could go under because Kansas State, if they're dominating time of possession, dominating the clock, they get a big lead, they can run the game out. That is what they can do. And I think that is definitely in the realm of possibility for this game. JD, any additional thoughts on the first